Droners, thanks again for tuning in. And today we have a special treat. We have a professional drone racer, Rich. Thanks again for joining us, brother.
Oh, yeah?
He is the man, our drone racer. He's awesome. And today I wanted to ask you a little bit about what is drone, I want to learn more about drone racing in general. Like, I know we've done videos previously where you told me about what each part of the drone is and, like how the general controls work for beginners. But I want to know more about like drone racing. Like, what are there leagues? Like, how does this happen?
Yeah, there are leagues. It's a very new sport, so it's only been going on for about a year or so now. So it's still in development. There's leagues popping up all the time. There's local chapters, there's national chapters, there's world chapters. So there's a lot of things going on that you can, go anywhere and join anything at this point. So as soon as you've got your controls down and you know what you're doing and you're confident enough and you can put out some practice gates and start hitting them, just go online and start looking around.
Interesting. I mean, that sounds really confusing though. Like, you're like, yeah, there's like 8 different kind of leagues you can be on depending on locality. And
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah.
well, is there any like general specifications? Like, yo, if you want to get into drone racing, these are the things you gotta have. Like, you gotta have a certain kind of rotor or whatever. Like,
Yeah, the limitations right now, and I wouldn't say limitations, but what most people are flying and what most of the leagues require is just a 5-inch prop
okay.
and then a 4-cell battery. And that's it. And pretty much you're allowed to build, construct, modify whatever else you like. So you can use whatever motors, combination with ESCs. Removing the GoPro is preferable when you're trying to race. So you're free to do whatever you want at this point. We're still experimenting with how things should be run and that kind of thing, but yeah.
So I mean, there's like no like restrictions. Like, yeah, you can't have the turbocharged super motors. Like, you can have those right now.
You can
like,
have those.
you can have whatever. If you got the money for it, you can race whatever you want.
Yeah.
So do you show up sometimes and people are just like, yeah, this is my new drone that has the motors that are insane that cost $8,000 a piece or something?
Everyone has the same accessibility to the equipment, so there's not a huge advantage. Some of the things hit the market that people might not be aware of, but within a week or two they will know.
Right.
But skill will always trump, a faster quad. If you can handle the corners better, if you're more precise than someone who's got an overpowered quad, you can still beat them.
Let's say I've done the simulator, I've learned how to fly, I have a new racing drone, I've spent way too much money on everything. And now I want to start racing and getting into like a drone racing community. How do I do that?
It's good to join a community. Flying by yourself isn't the safest recommendation. So finding a group of people who can help you out with equipment and flying lessons is definitely the way to go. Online, Facebook, hit up Facebook, type in your city, FPV. There's a Los Angeles FPV page.
Right.
There's an Atlanta FPV page, and just start talking to people online. And also, there's multiGP is one of the major leagues. It's a league for races. And
The link's below.
the link is below. Hit them up. There'll be local chapters. There'll be get-togethers on the weekend. You can attend them even before you bought anything, and get a sense of how things are run and what to buy and talk to people. So it's a very community-driven sport. Because it's so new and there's a lot of technology, everyone's helping each other out and discovering new ways to do things. So yeah, just look online.
So just use the internet.
Use the internet.
All
That's what it's
right,
for.
there we go.
Yeah.
How long is like, let's say, because there's courses, like you go through like the rings, like you fly through and other stuff.
Yeah.
How long are those courses normally?
It depends. You never know until you show up sometimes.
All right, well, that's what we're flying.
I was in Dubai earlier this year, and it was an actual raised track that was built with big gates. You could go to the velodrome I was at a few weeks ago, which was following the cycle track that had smaller gates and pit stops and slaloms. So
Wow.
you never really know, and that's part of the fun.
Okay.
Sometimes leagues will post the track online before, but yeah, we're making it up as we go along.
Well, it's interesting because I watch videos of people flying, and I see 2 different kind of things that they do. Like, some people fly like this. This is how I fly because I'm like a
Yeah.
gamer.
Yeah.
And then I also see people that have like a lanyard or something on, and then they'll be flying like this. Like, is
Yeah.
there like an advantage to this, or like how do you do it?
It's personal preference. Personally, I'm a thumber.
Okay.
So that's when you would be flying
So
just with your thumbs.
So I guess I'm a thumber.
You're a thumber too.
All right.
I like that because it's more linear with your body. You kind of feel like you're more in the cockpit when you're flying like this. There's a straight direction from your shoulders. You kind of like more in it.
Right.
You can get more surgical when you get to the pinching. That's what this is called. So you usually have a lanyard, so you can take the weight off of your hands and then concentrate on just pinching and you know, it's a little more broken up, your wrists are at an angle, but you can supposedly get a little more surgical with it,
So
more precise.
would you say more races that you see are thumbers or pinchers?
I think most people are thumbers.
Most people are thumbers?
I think.
You're like, well, I'm in the goggles, I don't know. I don't.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah,
All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's, if you come from gaming, it's more natural to put your thumbs on the stick.
Yeah, and so my last question for you right now is, I know there's two different kind of things that do happen in drone races, and people with like their first-person view accounts on Instagram and all that, is that either you're a drone, you can do drone racing, or you can do like freestyling.
Yeah.
What's the difference between the two?
Freestyling is how most people get into it. It's how you're first introduced to actually flying as opposed to trying to hit a specified course and gates, which is a little difficult off the bat. Freestyling is just going up and flying. So you go to a location, you get in the air, and you just feel it out, and just, you know, you interact with the environment, going under trees and looping over them, and, you know, spins and rolls and stuff. And it looks great on camera, and it's a way for you to, you know, get used to flying, get used to the controls, and it makes great video.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So you can either be a drone racer, a freestyler, and you can control in different ways. And there's a bunch of different leagues. So there's a lot to learn, but it's a new thing that's happening. So there's a lot of room for people to get into it and grow, right?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we've got 15-year-old kids winning huge races, and we've got, you know, 40-plus-year-old guys competing in the same league. So anyone can do it. Takes a little bit of education. Get online, look around, hit us up for information, and, you know.
Sweet.
Yeah.
All right. Once again, Rich, thank you so much for teaching me so much, and I hope
anytime.
that the droners enjoyed it as well. Droners, thank you for tuning in for this racing drone edition with Rich, the professional drone racer, because he's awesome. And if you want to see more videos with Rich, you can click right about here, because that's where drone stuff with Rich is. Or if you want to see more drone stuff in general involving me flying or telling you more about drone stuff, you can click right about here, because that's a good place to click. Either way, make sure you're the homie and hit the subscribe button, because that's what we do to homies. And as always, stay fly.